So after that long, boring, convoluted look into pixelization, I feel we should just spend a little bit of time just going in and having fun playing around with all of these images. So I'm going to actually go through and I'm going to group all of these together, turn it off. Hey, that's type. And I'm just going to create a new image, or I should say new layer. Go to my marquee tool right here, and let's just start really playing around and showing how even with these basic tools right here, we already have the foundation to create some pretty interesting stuff. So we'll be getting into more things in the next chapter, but I really just want to play a little bit. So let's just bring in, let's say, 3 images. So here we go, just these 3 images right here. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm going to move one down here, I'm going to move one up here, I'm going to move one to the left, and let's just kind of make it so they go right up to the box. And what I want to do is I only want to use the top half of this image. So I'm going to make it so it's below the orange, the layer stacking order. And while I could put things here and here, maybe I could duplicate this out with Alt, hit Command T. Yes, I am going fast, but I'm only showing you things that we've already learned and showing you how even with these simple things, we can start to do some pretty cool things. I'm going to right click. Haven't shown you that before. I can flip horizontal if I right click. This is all about free transform. Hit Enter. And I'm just going to start playing around with this. So let's say that I wanted to use the bottom of this. I would just move it, again, below the layer stacking order. But I'm running into this problem where basically what this image consists of right now is we have this background. Well, let's turn everything off. We have this background. We have this image right here. We have this orange square. We have this image. We have this image. We have this image. And now we have this image. So this image is clearly a problem. If I bring it like this, we're fine. This is kind of fun right here. But if I want to make it so we're only looking at the bottom of this image right here, so the only thing that we see is, from here and below, in order to do that, we need to copy it, paste it out, turn this off right here, and now we have that going right there. So it's just the sort of thing of starting to play around with them. Now, I could really start introducing you to, a crazy town amount of stuff. So, I could go in, I could show you how if you, do things like command click, you can start playing with the corners and really start doing some wild things. But I want you to play around with it yourself and realize that every single modifier key does something. Be warned that if something comes in and it's about this size, it's probably telling you, don't use this image. It's too small. So I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to bring in a different image, maybe this one. Here we go. And this looks about right here. So if you're using the transform tool, as we're doing right here, we're bringing it in and it's automatically being brought in as a smart object. Here we go. That looks pretty good. We're just able to start playing around with it. So I suggest, use the transform tool, experiment with right clicking, experiment with hitting shift, hitting command, hitting alt, seeing what different results happen. And you need to spend just kind of a little bit of time in all of it in order to kind of get used to it. But once you really get used to it, there's all sorts of things that are possible. So I just suggest use all of these tools, the move tool, the marquee tool. We talked about the gradient tool and also the fill tool. So these two right here, along with navigating and bringing images together to play around with it for a while. So first get good at understanding how to mess around with the modifier keys and all of that. And then we can get into doing things like images that are not squares. So in the next section, we're going to be talking all about selection. And if you have an image and you want to do something like, say, get rid of the background in this image, or get rid of the sky. Here we go. Get rid of the sky in this image and put something else behind it. How can you go about really quickly just selecting that sky and being able to elegantly get rid of it? So we'll be talking about things like that in the next section and really taking everything that we've learned very far. But before we go there, please play around with the tools that I've already introduced. because only then is it worthwhile to go a step further and really start talking about selection, the next building block of Photoshop.